Hey YouTube. So I'm back again with another project for you. This is a bit of a special one, and I would like to thank PowerFilm for supplying me with the materials to be able to put this together. But in partnership with them, through their supply of resources, I've developed a wall-mounted unit for recharging batteries and things like clocks and making sure that they stay up. Um, it's something that I think would be very useful for a lot of people in a lot of different circumstances. And although, okay, you might say, I only have to replace the battery in my clock once a year anyways. You know what? Not replacing the battery is even better. Much better for the environment too. Anyway, so I hope to give you guys an example of this, and at the end of this video, the download links will be below, and hopefully you will see the value in having something like this for maintaining your devices. It doesn't just have to be for clocks, it could be for all kinds of things, including little wall-mounted decorations or little things that run on LED. I think it's something that's very useful and should be deployed all over the place. And quite frankly, these, as far as I'm concerned, these solar cells should be inbuilt into the products, but they're not, so let's add them. Anyway, I'm going to paste in a quick word from this video's sponsor, which is basically PowerFilm for supplying the products. I really hope you guys consider looking at them and checking them out, because they're a wonderful company, and I'm super grateful that they were willing to work with me, even though I'm just a small YouTube channel and a small-time developer. Anyways, really stick through, and we'll get to the device right after this word.
At PowerFilm, we are passionate about making the highest quality solar solutions on the market. PowerFilm has a deep expertise in the solar industry. From this expertise, we have really been focused on understanding customer requirements and designing to customer requirements.
And the reason we do that is to be efficient in the engineering of that custom product for your application, to save both your company time on the development end and our company time on getting you the right solution.
All right, so that was the video from PowerFilm, and now we'll get to the device. So this 3D print is for this model of panel made by or by PowerFilm. This pack over here has a couple of them inside, but these are available for a very reasonable price. They're a thin film flexible solar panel, and they're very excellent quality. And this whole device over here, on top of being flexible, the whole thing is covered with a protective film. So if you do go to investigate yours, something to be aware of is, because of that protective film, you can't just touch it and expect to get your voltage reading just like that. You do have to use a soldering iron or something similar and remove that protective film. Otherwise, you will not get your reading. And to show you that example, you see over here, if I touch the two metal contacts on the side, there's nothing. That's because this whole thing is covered with a protective film. But while you're doing your soldering, all you have to do is you just take your soldering iron and you just rub a little bit off on one side and rub a little bit off on the other side, and then when you go and you solder your wires on, you'll get your voltage reading no problem. So the device that I made in question is this this piece over here. Now this is a two-piece print. We have this top over here, and we have the base. Now I designed the base. Here, let me get a flashlight. It's a little bit dark today. So I designed the base to try to use the least amount of filament possible to print it. So that's what this depression is over here. In that way, this part prints on the board, and this part here is the only piece that actually needs support materials. So this had to be made a certain amount of thickness just to be able to fit the length of the screws without pressing through the back of the solar panel. But that is what that is. Now you can see over here, oh, I'll put this off to the side. You can see over here that I have a diode on this side to control the flow of current. Now the reason you need a diode is because without a diode, once the light levels go down to a low enough level, you could actually reverse the flow of current backwards through the solar panel, and that'll actually drain and kill your battery. So I've got it over here, and that makes it so that you won't drain your battery once the lights go off. Now both of the sides are made symmetrical, and over here what's going on is I just have some aluminum foil tape, and that foil tape makes it so that we have a trace to go from screw to screw, and we won't need to worry about, oh, you know, are we going to drain the battery or not, or anything like that. These screw holes here are inset, and the whole device itself uses, I made sure that it would be, you could buy one pack of screws. They're quarter inch, or sorry, the screws are 12.5 millimeters long, so half inch, and they are number 8 screws, so very easy to find at your common hardware store. The wiring over here, I used bare copper because I just happen to have a lot of bare copper wire on hand, but you could use shielded wire or not, it doesn't really matter. I left a good amount of little space down here at the bottom so that you'd have plenty of space to work with your wiring. So yeah, now to hook it up to the wall, I've got this 2-pair 18 gauge wire that I'm going to be using, and up here you can see I made a little groove here so that you could put a nail at an angle or a hanger at an angle, and you could hang it off of the groove on the wall. But personally, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this alien tape. This is a reusable two-way plastic, it's like a sticky plastic polymer. It's reusable in that when you take it off the wall or whatever surface, you wash it, and then you wash the residue off of it, and it becomes sticky again. So we'll get started with that. I'm gonna take my clock off the wall, and then I'm going to show you how I'm gonna hook this up to the battery and behind the clock. Also here I have nickel metal hydride batteries, and AA as well as AAA, because it's, you know, the clock batteries are due to be replaced and I don't remember which kind go in. But you do need rechargeable batteries. This isn't going to work if you just use a standard alkaline battery. So yeah, you do have to pay a little bit extra for the rechargeables, but hey, it's going to be the last time you ever need to replace the batteries. So let's get to it. Okay, so I got my clock off the wall, and I can see over here it's going to use AA batteries. Now, to be able to make that connection, I'll show you what I'm going to do over here. So we'll take the AA's out of the package. Let's see if I can't give myself a little bit more light with this here. And of course it's it's just a standard AA rechargeable. And And we'll take off the package, or the wrapping, off the wire here. And so over here you can see on these grooves, I've got these grooves here. Now what I'm going to do is, for mine personally, I'm going to arrange it to sit kind of on top of the clock, and I'm just going to use the alien tape to secure it down. So my wire is just going to follow down through this hole down the back down to the clock here. So I'm going to need just a certain amount of wire, not a ton. Let's see here. So I'll cut it there. And take a little bit extra, because you can always cut it shorter, but you can't cut it longer. Handy dandy wire strippers. Thick insulation for 18 gauge wire, that's for sure. There we go. And that should be enough to reach both sides. Yep. I like to twist the wire a little bit. And there we go. Now we take our rechargeable. Make sure that I'm on camera here. And now, standard with electrical is red is positive and black is negative. So we're going to stick by that same standard when we stick this in. So this will be quite simple. I'm going to take a little bit of that tape. Sorry about that. That was my robot vacuum. It was about to go right in the middle of the video. So we're going to use a little bit of this aluminum tape, and this is just going to help us to keep the wires in place. We're not going to need much. Just a little square for each side of the battery. So you can see here, it's not much. Just little pieces. And I've got my wire. And remember, black on negative. So I'll just fold that up a little bit because I stripped it a little bit long. So there we go. Black is going to go on negative. And then red is going to go on positive. And then stripped it a little bit long, so I'm going to fold it up. And there's my other piece. So there we go. Now we have both sides with the wire on it, and it doesn't add very much to the thickness of it, so so it'll fit back in nice and easy. Now we have negative on the one side, positive on the other side. Probably screwing up the time there, eh? Yeah. And there we go. So the wires are in, and this will just follow up like that. And I'll have to reset the time afterwards. Okay, now for this part. And it'll just come up in the behind in the groove like that. So we're going to double check the voltages. I want to make sure that I didn't forget which side was negative, which side was positive. Very easy to check with your multimeter. We have, there we go. So we can see that the voltages are right. And let's get this wire cut to the proper size and length. So, oh, I guess the battery's dead. Alright. So we'll give ourselves a little bit of playroom. I'll cut it there. Actually a little bit higher, because again, like I said, we can always cut shorter, we can't cut longer. Split the wire apart. And now we can just tie it in. Did I leave my... No, I didn't bring my screwdriver closer. Alright, so tie her in. Now, when you're attaching the wires, something that you always want to remember is you always want to wrap your wire clockwise around the screw. Little electrician trick, because if you do it the other way, then the screw just wants to kick the wire out. If you wrap it clockwise around the screw, then it tends to want to pull the wire in. So it might not seem like much, but it does make a difference in making a good solid connection. Again, always clockwise around the screw. There we go. So we have a little bit of play left inside of there. That's fine. Maybe I'll even put it a little bit above. Or maybe I'll even move it a bit to the side. That's probably what I'll do, is I'll have it mounted close to the side here. Like that. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. So I'll get this mounted back on the wall, and that's good and pressed in. Yep. And there we go. So there it is. That's a little solar charger on top of the clock, and keep it going for probably decades, until one of the components wears out anyways. So, as I said before, links in description will be below, so you can print your own copy of that and get your own products running on sustainable technology. Anyway, until next time, YouTube.